G'day and welcome. This podcast is nothing more than as it says. Three blokes sharing their love of whiskey, having a laugh, and most importantly, having a crack. So grab your glass, your favourite whiskey, and kick back and enjoy our podcast. Please remember to not drink and drive, over 18s only, and as always, know your limits and drink responsibly. Remember, alcohol should be enjoyed and appreciated, never abused. Now, time to kick off the pod.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Welcome back to another edition of Having a Crack with Big Mac, Big Johnny, and Big Rosco. What's going on, lads?
How we doing?
Oh, yeah. Been better. Had a bit of the case of the old sniffles this week, so nose is a little bit off. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah?
Not looking my way, but yeah, I'm pretty good.
I'll just join in whenever you like, mate. Go for it. Fire away.
No, pretty good week.
Pretty good week.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Problems at work solved, so, you know.
What sort of problems? Big ones?
Yeah, something that's been going on for about 2 months and people have just been passing the buck and
Oh. That's not a good thing.
lack of dropping stuff.
Just the first whiskey drop for the night. That's all right. That's good. So big problems, Johnny. Big problems.
Yeah, big problems, but looks like they're solved now, so
Good.
I'm happy.
That's good. That's what we like. And Rosco.
Yeah, not so good.
Yeah, why?
No, fucking not so good.
Why? What's happened?
A few Friday afternoon beers.
Oh.
Turns
Jesus.
into the old podcast with a Macca and he's running things like a tight ship over here. I'm not allowed to have beers in the afternoon with the boys anymore, so that sucks.
I think he's just pulling a few legs there.
I never heard him say no beers.
Never said any beer. I've never said you couldn't have any beers.
He just said make sure you get your run sheet ready or your notes.
Yeah, because Rosco, we gave him a couple of tasks this week. One in particular was just do a little bit of research, but he put so much time and effort into his hard truths and spicy truths, which we're all looking forward to this evening. But he did forget to do a little bit of research on his own whiskey.
I put more time and effort into working this week than putting up with your shit, Macca, so I'm not going to deal with this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why my week sucked.
Why?
Because generally my construction is carpentry, right? We build shit all day long. The builder wants me to do his steel work for him. Mm-hmm. And as, you know, steel work goes, well, my welds could be sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe bad.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
But I can tell you what, I'm not very good at welding. I hope this bloke's fucking house stays up.
It's the boss's house, isn't it?
Whose is it? Your boss's house?
Nah, he's a builder that we work for.
Ah.
Can't believe he trusted me to fucking build his shit. Oh well.
And how was your apprentice this week? Was he on the ball?
Nah, he's shit house. I'll tell you what happened. This bloke signed up for an old apprenticeship. He's fucking hopeless. And he worked 7 hours today and when we finished work, came to my house and drank beers for 5 hours. So
Spent more time drinking than he did working.
Well, I reckon I should have only paid for 2, to be honest.
So what does he usually get up to on the job site, mate? Does he actually do much work?
A lot of fucking about. A lot of banter.
A lot of banter, but just a lot of coins, money going out the door just for nothing, mate.
Sometimes you just gotta get the job done, you know. An old fucking slow mover, smooth, just says, "Oh yeah, fucking, we'll go about it this pace. We'll fucking go about it this pace." No, mate, get it done.
He doesn't have to lift his game, the old apprentice.
He's been complaining this week. He had the flu as well, so a bit of flu going around, which is interesting.
Yes, it is. It's a shit season to be coming into, but we are here tonight to make sure we get rid of all your troubles and worries and drown them away with some amazing information, some great whiskies. But firstly, before we get into the whiskies, we are going to kick it off with a new craft beer with Pirate Life Brewing, which majority of people or craft beer lovers will know. They've got a new one, Californian Pale Ale, that they've just released, and yeah, we're just going to have a little bit of a sipperoonie on one of these ones. So, yeah. See what we get out of this. Half a glass.
Yeah, gets going.
got to pace this one since you're already fucking 4 deep. So
5.
5. Okay.
That one's got some good tropical notes to it.
Yeah. Well, it's got on their website. So the pale ale is a tasty blend and new school pale ale. For those who like it dank, just slightly dialed back. The developer Pirate Life brewer, Jackson Purser, its sturdy malt profile is backed by liberal amounts of US hops. Rosco loves an old liberal. With kettle, whirlpool, and fermenter additions joining forces to get the job done. Pours a golden, fluffy head of foam. Expect aromas of stone fruit, black currant, and sticky pine to drink. It's clean and hoppy with a hint of biscuit malt and a sturdy back palate bitterness.
Biscuit malt must come from using a different malted grain that they can put in because I've heard about these people that are out there now trying to make an Anzac beer.
Oh, how good would that be?
Wow, Macca. Lucky I know people who you might be able to get your hands on one of these
exclusive.
First exclusives of the old Anzac beer coming out. So
you've heard it here first, straight on the pod.
Yeah.
Exclusive Anzac.
The old biscuit malt. Interesting one.
Bloody hell. Bit of breaking news.
That was the fucking up late news with Sandra Sully there. Coming in late, Macca. Get your timing right, please.
I know. I'm too busy enjoying this Pirate Life right now. This is good.
What do you reckon, John? Good beer?
Yeah, it's all right. Don't know if I could do a whole night on them.
No. I don't think anyone really. Or if you can drink craft on a whole session, good luck to you. Well done. But it's never anything you can...
Definitely feel it. 5.8%. It's not quite a great drink to put down. Like you can sort of get the taste of the alcohol through it, I guess. Like it feels a little bit stronger than a usual beer, maybe. At that, a lot of other beers are 5.8, especially that Bolter.
Yeah.
That purple Bolter is a nearly 6, maybe even 6.5% or something. But gee, that's really smooth and nice. But this one is probably a little bit more harsher, I guess. Whatever. But
yeah,
no for me.
all that build up and just straight to the nose.
That's all right. Fucking beer's beer.
Nah, it goes all right. But look, as I mentioned before, we've got quite a star-studded cast up tonight for you, including a mystery whiskey from Rosco. We also, if you might have checked the socials during the week, we did a little draw out of the hat where we had to find a Japanese whiskey that was between 7 to 10 years old. And good old Buggerlugs Jono here has managed to find one at one of the local stores in Lilydale, I think you said.
Yeah, Celebrations.
Thank you very much, Celebrations Lilydale. Well done for stocking something that we needed. So, yep, that's good. So we'll be treating you to that very, very shortly. But before we do, I think I was going to mention something, Rosco, that you partook in earlier this month. How was it? Old National Gardening in the Nude Day.
Fortunately, we do have very high fences. I was out there naked. There's nothing wrong with that.
Just for those that didn't realise, gardening is Roscoe's not only hobby but job, and he lives and breathes it. He's got that many tomato garden seeds, plants, whatever you want to call them. He's got everything in his back garden area, and he loves it.
The thing about gardening is it's therapeutic. It's literally break your mind. You can go out there and you can just enjoy it. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
There's no and the best thing about gardening for me, the best thing about gardening is after we built our house, you could literally create a second space outside of your home that was nice as well. Mm-hmm. It's like outdoor living, indoor living. So you can have outside space, but if you don't have a garden, the garden makes that space work.
And you don't want to be staring at a plain fence and little bit of concrete.
Exactly why we're looking for some contracts out here, Macca, because you still got to do your outdoor area, get some landscapers in maybe for this garden. So
Yes. Yeah,
any of the old podcast listeners, local landscapers,
in due course.
yeah, finish up that outdoor area there, mate.
It'll go down a treat. Yes, it will indeed. But yeah, what else did I have? Actually, that's what I was going to mention as well. I found this during the week. The missus and I were sitting down watching some Netflix, and it was a TV show that was doing like about 5 different episodes surrounding the swear words used in TV and movies and that sort of thing, and they were going through like fuck, shit, dick, pussy, and something else, and they were basically trying to run down the history and the origins of where swear words came from. Mm. And I'm going to just throw this out to you just before we jump into some whiskies. Out of all the actors, who do you think probably featured in the top 5? Just throw it out there. Just any names. Have a guess.
Most numbers of swear words ever
used in movies.
Samuel L. Jackson would have to be up there.
Yep.
I haven't seen a lot of films, so I can't tell you really anything.
So you can't Samuel L. Jackson. So he featured number 3.
Oh, yeah. Close to the top. Comedians or?
Two others are comedians, and the other 2, one's probably more drama action. The other one's also drama action, I reckon, as well.
What era? Can I get
Oh,
like
it's pretty-
90s or 2000s? Or?
Relevant now, but also a bit of 90s, 2000s. It's a bleeding obvious one that we grew up with.
Oh, and I'll try Eddie Murphy. Was he?
Well, that's who I would have thought would have featured, but no, he wasn't in the top 5.
No. He had a bit of a mix. Some movies he's swearing his head off. Some movies he was pretty PG, I guess.
Well, he jumped in the kids' movies pretty, pretty much in that mid part of his career anyway. So,
Do you know an interesting fact about Eddie Murphy?
yeah.
What's that song on the? I could play it on the drums.
Which one?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll play it on the drums. I can't remember it now, but I can. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, hit that on the drums, mate. Really good.
How'd you learn how to play drums?
I don't know. I thought I'd go there.
Self-taught in the garden,
Certainly not a
just
drummer.
clanging some pot players together.
Certainly not a drummer, mate. Certainly not.
So in the top 5, number 5 was Al Pacino. So I'm guessing these mafia movies skyrocketed him up there a bit. Number 4 was Adam Sandler.
Shit.
So that again, I didn't expect him to be really in there though. Still, because there was a fair few of his movies weren't fully like fucks and shits and all that sort of stuff as well. It was,
No, but he always flew off the handle for a brief moment here and there, and
yeah, I suppose in his latter years on Netflix, a lot of his movies have been a little bit more MA. But Samuel L. Jackson was number 3. Leo DiCaprio, that was one that I guessed before it all popped up. He's number 2.
really.
Could you think Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh, I mean, you take that one out.
Well, yeah. And funnily enough, number 1 is because of Wolf of Wall Street why he features at number 1, and that's Jonah Hill.
That's right. Yeah, he does swear a fair bit.
107 times he said fuck in Wolf of Wall Street. I had no idea. Like that's a lot of fucks.
He would have sworn quite a bit on his debut in Superbad, wouldn't he?
Superbad.
Yeah.
A lot of shits in that.
Yep.
Says shit a lot.
Yep.
Shit.
It was pretty.
Does saying dick count as a swear word or not?
I think it does. Yeah. It was anything that they were talking about on the show, and yeah.
Yeah, well then definitely he would have sworn a lot in Superbad. He, saying shit. He's talking about his dick.
Straight off the bat.
He is indeed. He is indeed. Well,
So who was number 2? Missed out number 2, Macca.
Leo.
No, who did you say was number 3?
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson. Keep up.
Yep.
Keep up, Cooter.
Well, they were talking about a cooter. Another name for a cooter.
Who's that?
Well, not another name. It's cooter has another meaning.
What are you trying to say, mate? No? That's why he's the Greek king.
The Great King of Vaj.
Greek king, mate. Legend.
Oh, shit. So just as Johnny prepares the ice blocks into our glasses for this evening, I'm just going to run you through tonight's whiskey that we're kicking off with is a Johnny Walker Green label. Now, for the simple fact, I know for a fact Rosco hasn't really dabbled too much in blended land as such. He's sort of been a bit, not snobbish, but thought that blended wasn't really for him. But I'm here to prove him wrong tonight.
I've had it before.
Bullshit.
I've had it like 10 times, man.
Do you remember it though?
Yeah.
No, you don't remember it.
I've had Johnny Walker Green label.
When was the last time?
At least, well, last time, first time, who gives a fuck? I've had it at least 10 times. At least 10 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought being green, being National Nude Gardening fucking week or whatever it was.
Oh, no, green's my favourite colour.
The money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So we're going to crack this one open. Ooh, nice and
That
fresh.
is another fresh bottle that is unopened.
You're not
We should
wrong.
do a little bottle count here, Macca. How many have been open and how many unopened? Because we got to get that 50-50 ratio happening, you know?
Don't worry, they're going down by the minute.
We'll get there pretty quickly.
You're not wrong.
Not so sure.
So a bit of background on Johnny Green. So for anyone that's, because we did get a fair few listeners from last week's or the week before's release of the first episode, we're ringing in, or not ringing in because 1-800 Hot Dogs wasn't live, but they did email in the pod asking, look, I'm a little bit sort of new to whiskey, what should I be going for first? Are there ones to steer clear of? I don't really like that smokiness, blah, 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 blah. So I can honestly tell you, if you are going to step into whiskey, there's a couple that I personally prefer. I don't know about the boys. They might be wanting something different in their choice for an initial step into whiskey. But if you're going into a blended world, I would 100% recommend Johnny Green because it's very, very soft, very mild, but it gives you a great introduction into whiskey with still picking up a lot of flavours across the board. But if you're wanting to step straight into single malt world, I would always recommend a Singleton Malt Master. That is my personal suggestion. The boys might think otherwise for their own ones, but both are very simple, easy whiskies and very inviting in regards to price point. They're about $80, I think it is, for Green Label roughly, and Singleton Malt Master is about $55. So very decent drop for a decent price point.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd step into a Johnny at $80.
Well, what have you got below it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go look, but
You got black and you got double black.
There's platinum bottles.
Yeah, that's
no,
more
but-
expensive.
That's above.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying green would be best if you're going to intro into a blend. Because, I mean, you could do Dimple. You could do Dimple 12.
Plenty of blends out there at the same sort of price point, and I've just never really been too impressed with Johnny, to be honest. Even though it's a big name, a big brand, and you've got Johnny signs everywhere here, Macca, statues. So sorry, mate.
There's a lot to like in this drink, though. I can assure you.
There's a lot to like in this bar too. So if you get the opportunity to get the old invitation around and be that fourth microphone holder over the far end, send in the old in the emails and give us your creditations, because we don't want anyone just showing up for a bit of a podcast session. We want the best of the best. So
That is true. We might have to do a bit of a voting system, wouldn't we? Have to get a few people in and work out who's the best.
might have to take this podcast on tour as well, Macca. There's always that option to head out to the old distilleries and breweries. So the local guys want to get the name out. Big opportunities.
You're spot on, mate. You're spot on. So
30,000 followers already on the social media, so that's massive.
if only we could pinch them from yours, we'd be laughing.
Kelly Slater, give him a shout out.
Old Kels. So Johnny Green, it's crafted from a palette of Speyside, Highland, Lowland and Isla malts, matured for at least 15 years, all perfectly balanced to bring together the intense aromas of crisp cut grass, Roscoe's favourite, fresh fruit, wood smoke, deep vanilla and sandalwood.
The nose is good. It is. a lot of that on the nose.
Yeah, got a little bit of the smoke.
I'm surprised at the ability of this nosing glass,
These are your new ones that you brought tonight.
but I wasn't really happy with them. No, this one definitely does let you have that.
Does it?
I reckon cut grass maybe. I know what grass smells like.
You haven't got grass anymore in your fucking house, do you?
What else do we have? Vanilla. The vanilla is the sweetness. You could probably get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the wood smoke's going to be more so a smidgen on the taste as well.
What was the fruit?
Yeah, just a fruity.
Fresh fruit.
Like an apple, or was it an apple-y sort of? Is that why it's a green label too? It's got like a bit of an apple to it.
Oh, not necessarily.
Doesn't say specifically what fruit.
Not in particular off the website. So they're on Nick's Wine Merchants. They're alluding to dried mango, fig, white pepper with a bit of good freshness.
On the nose or on the...
That's on the tasting notes.
It was a white pepper. Oh, you've sold me.
Loves the old bit of white peps. That is delicious.
It's not the worst drink.
Here we go. Give him the ice.
Well,
watch him turn around and just say, "Oh, it's the best drink ever."
The problem is with this whiskey is I've had it before, and it brings back memories. And we don't want to divulge into whiskey memories while we're doing tastings of whiskeys, do we? So we'll just leave that one at that.
Not incriminating memories, are they?
We save that shit for later.
That comes out in the spicy truth, doesn't it?
It does.
But honestly, it's definitely on the nose.
You're picking up on it a fair bit on the nose.
Well, yeah. I reckon they're quite accurate with the nosing. Tasting, it's got like, covers the tongue, good mouthfeel, a little bit oily, all of that. The white pepper's the linger. I guess there's that too. But
I'm getting a fair bit of that wood smoke.
the smoke's in there.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's not overpowering or overbearing either, like a single malt Isla would be.
No, I mean, they try and balance it all out.
Yeah.
So you're not getting overpowered by any particular flavour or smell.
And the fact that they're bringing together 4 regions in one glass, that's quite impressive as well, because you are getting the best of the malts around those regions.
So they're purchasing from other distilleries to fill their
Different malts, yeah.
Yeah.
From all around those distilleries that are linked with Johnny
Do they
Walker.
actually say what distilleries they get their gear from?
So it is normally on the box. So I haven't got it. Oh, here we go. Got it right here. So a rich, vibrant blend of only single malt whiskey, including Talisker, Linkwood, Cragganmore, and Kalilla.
Kalilla.
Pretty good brands in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got 3 of those whiskies at home, and I can tell you that 3 of those whiskies are very good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Tried one last week, or the other week on the pod.
they're not. Linkwood's the one that I haven't had,
No.
but they're not. They're not by any means a terrible whiskey. But I guess the question then remains: is if Johnny Walker are coming in to buy your barrels, what are you selling your barrels to them? Because you're selling single malts to someone else. So you're selling your
Offcuts and
well, not
leftovers
so
and-
much that, but just you're not giving out your best stuff, are you, to put it into a blend? I guess to a certain degree. That's all. It's just
Well, Johnny Walker, the company that owns Johnny Walker, own those distilleries that are all there. So that's why they can pinch from any of those distilleries and blend it in for their own one.
Yeah, but when you're thinking about it, if they've got a barrel of that in their own distillery and say, all right, we could bowl this up and sell it at $100, $150 a bottle, or we can give it to Johnny and they mix it together and they sell it for an $80 bottle. And if it's four whiskeys all going into one, then that's $20 each.
True. Yeah. But you would think that those distilleries wouldn't be giving the best of the best stuff
No.
for the Johnny Green. It's going to be the mid-range sort of level, and then together you're leaving it up to the green label to boost up the rest of the quality in there.
the thing is too, with it being a 15-year-old, it doesn't say they're all from a 15-year-old barrel. There is a barrel there somewhere along the lines that has a 15-year-old whiskey in it.
So it's aged 15 years.
Yeah,
All of
not
them?
all of it.
All 5? 4?
Okay.
Aged 15 years.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that's an age statement that they guarantee or they just take a small amount of.
No. So it's still classified either way as a blend because you're blending all those regions together with the malts. So that's why it's aged for 15 years in there too. Quite a nice drop.
Better with ice.
Always better with with ice, isn't it?
Oh, we all know that one. Now, look, I reckon it's probably almost better without ice.
You reckon?
It's a bit more bland with the ice in it, straight away with the ice. Just went,
Oh yeah, the ice sort of turns off some of the flavors.
Yeah.
yeah, no, but it definitely does in this one. Although it's cooler. I like it cool, cold.
You lose the heat.
Well, you lose the flavour too, I reckon.
Which flavour do you think turns off then that you were capturing before?
This goes to more of a bland, just like a more...
Well, you're still getting a bit of the vanilla and sweetness.
So you get sweetness, but you turn off this woody smoke sort of taste, you reckon?
Just like a tiny hint of smoke still.
Is the sandalwood a flavour? Is that what sandalwood tastes like when you chuck it with ice?
I think we said this the other week as well. Someone else had sandalwood as their tasting note, but we shouldn't be tasting sandalwood. I think that's more so for the nose.
I've licked a couple of fucking timber sandals in my time, so I know what it tastes like.
Just for a dare or for fun?
I'm just like, that's a good bit of wood. I'm just going to see what it tastes like.
No, like actual thongs that are made out of wood, you know, clops.
Clogs.
Clogs.
Not clogs.
You
Not a couple of Jurgen Klops.
you got one of them foot fetishes or something.
No, I definitely
Came
don't.
down.
That's what I thought sandalwood would taste like. Give it a lick.
You know who you look like right now. If you're wearing some wooden clops, you look like Hihachi from fucking Tekken. With your hair, he wears wooden clops as well.
So that's a perfect little combination.
Fucking
Which
hell.
one's Hihashi?
The old bloke. Remember, I think we went through this the other week.
Is he the 54-year-old?
Yeah.
He's the guy with he wears a...
Spiky sort of fucking,
Yeah,
the karate suit.
yes,
Yeah.
I know who he is.
He goes, "Ugh."
Yeah. That's all right. It's a compliment.
It is.
Probably got sandalwood fucking clops on.
Yeah, he does wear wooden clops. That's not a bad drop though. You'd probably give it just an easy 6, I reckon. Easy 6.
Yeah, 6 is probably fair.
Yeah,
Price point and everything considered.
exactly. It's not there to set the world on fire.
I'd say that's generous.
Oh,
Nah, joking. We'll just go 6. 6 is right out there. Who gives a fuck?
nah, 6 goes all right. 6 goes all right. I'm pretty happy with that one.
So that's the so the green would be the starting point for drinking Johnny Neat, would you say, or would you?
Yes and no. So what I've done with both you two boys when we've been out a few times, for those that aren't aware, Johnny Black, which is just above Johnny Red. So Johnny Black is a great one that you can still drink neat, but preferably you can use that in a highball that the boys have got on, which is if you're going out to a venue or whatnot, asking for a Johnny Black in a highball, tall glass with a bit of ice, dash of bitters, and filled up with some pub squash. And I kid you not, that will be one of the nicest, refreshing drinks you'll have. And that can sort of ease you into scotch, but if you're wanting to go the next level up without too much overpowering smokiness with it, because double black is the next one up, but that is very, very smoky. If you step in a green label, you will get a very, very well balanced drink and a lot more easier to drink neat too.
It's just streaks ahead of black,
Yeah.
but still, I don't know. I guess, look, overall, it's pretty smooth drink to drink, isn't it? You can't really fault it. Delivers on the nose, palate. It's a blend. It's smooth. It's good. 6 is a fair score.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. I definitely agree on that one. All right, so since we're pretty much finishing up these ones here, we're just going to take a quick little break, but we are going to leave you with a little fun fact for this week.
Oh, here's a fun fact. You made out with your sister, man! Shut up!
Stick to the creator, the best thing in nature for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. But there's nothing like whiskey to make maidens frisky. It soon separates all the men from the boys.
Did you know that Kentucky is home to more barrels of maturing bourbon than people.
His shelf, and he said, "Come around, boys, and we'll just do a podcast, and we'll just pick anything we want." And there's, as I've mentioned before, 100 bottles on this shelf, and only 97 have been opened now. So I thought, you know what, you beauty, let's get this happening. Let's get this podcast going again. And then Thursday night, he hits me with a fucking 12-page essay about what I had to bring this week, what I had to do, and how much research I had to do. And I said, Macca, no, mate. Fuck you.
You're talking to me all wrong. It's the wrong tone.
I'm not getting involved in research. I'm never turning a laptop on unless I have to send an invoice.
Yeah, and you're ugly.
You actually turn a laptop on to send an invoice?
I still have to do
Daniela
that.
has to do that.
That's how far behind I am. Still use a laptop for an invoice. That's how dumb I am. However, when I heard I had to bring a whiskey and I had to do some research, I thought, you know what's better than fucking doing that? I'll bring in Johnny's bottle of whiskey from the first podcast that we've never put to air.
Oh,
And see how it goes a second time around.
wow.
So you are drinking your own drink, Johnny.
Which one's that?
The Japanese one.
I'm not sure. Well, you said it was Japanese themed this episode. So I
Wow.
thought,
One thing was Japanese, yeah.
Well,
Didn't necessarily have to be the whole thing.
I don't think that was the same one. I don't
not
think
quite.
No, it was a different brand.
Different. No. You brought it around to my house. I got a bottle of it at home.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same brand.
There's a lot of this in that same drink.
Yeah.
So what brand is it?
I don't know, whatever he brought around, it's the same bottle.
You got to tell him the brand. He'll tell you straight away if it was the same one.
I have to get the missus. I don't even know what it is, to be honest.
You poured it out into the spice bottle, didn't you?
I'm pretty sure that was a Shinobu I left at your house.
Yes.
Yeah. So not the same.
No?
No.
What did we have in the first episode?
Oh, do we want to divulge that?
No, we
now?
don't want to divulge that. We just
Is
need a
it,
clarification.
how much better is it than the drink that you're drinking now?
Oh, the one I brought on that pilot that we didn't air, that was fucking amazing.
That was the $210 bottle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
214 or whatever it was.
From the same
Yeah.
company.
Might be Suntory. It might be still.
Yeah, the
It's
same.
definitely Suntory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but it's
that same
still a
bottle.
different whiskey, though.
What's that same
They've
bottle?
got shitloads of distilleries.
I'll get Daniela to send a photo of it. I thought it was the same.
It's like all the whiskey companies owned by Johnny Walker are the same.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it's the exact same.
I've lost that one.
It's like tomato.
Well, fuck, mate. I just want to
Still
come around
different.
here and drink something off your shelf. I wasn't doing any research, so I thought I'd use Johnny's research.
Oh, I see you hacked into his thing.
Well, so I got the bottle that he has at my house, and I thought I'll share.
Don't
that
tell me you
information.
listened through the tasting notes that he gave on the first fucking pilot.
Well, I know it came from 3 distilleries.
Oh.
I know there's no longer these distilleries in involvement anymore, so that's why this bottle is so good. I swear it's the same bottle, no?
Not the same.
No?
No, it's definitely not.
It's the same bottle.
Do
It is 100% the same bottle.
you have a photo there?
I'll get Daniela to send it to me.
Okay.
I have this bottle at home. You brought it around.
You,
yeah.
you only had one Jap whiskey, didn't you?
There's two. There's a
Two.
Yamazaki.
Yamazaki.
And then there's the same bottle.
Which was the one that you got him for his birthday?
I'm pretty sure that was a Shinobu.
That was the Shinobu. So if that's what he's poured in there. Yeah, it's not the same one that he brought around.
I'll get her to send a photo to find out. So it's from the same it's the same bottle. Like it's
Same
not,
company that owns the
but
whiskies.
It's put in the same bottle. Like as in the shape of the bottle is the
Oh,
exact same
a
bottle.
lot of them are all similar
Okay.
shapes. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's where I've probably been thrown off
yeah.
because I thought that it was the only bottle they had in that box.
In its packaging, you mean?
Actually, I'm certain it's the same bottle because I've read the back of the label that says the same notes on it.
Oh, well, when we see the photo, we can work that out.
Yes.
John, I'll definitely give you the verdict on that one.
I'll have to get Daniela to send a photo through. But yeah, hang on, I'm trying to decipher that. So, exactly what I did not want to do was do research. So I had to come down here, get on the podcast, get on the fucking drinks.
That's all right. We'll make sure that in future we'll do Roscoe's research for him. and then just leave a little bit of
So
paper.
he can't be the mystery drink.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, we won't make him the mystery drink. We'll let him pick something off the shelf. Make his life easier.
Yes.
You're both now. You still got a little bit left in yours, Johnny and Roscoe. You're too busy trying to work out how to text.
Yep.
Two hands.
Do the cricket sound. We're waiting on a photo.
All right.
I'm certain this drink is the same drink we had the first week, Johnny.
But going back to the first week,
Oh.
you've made the same mistake though. You brought the spice jars and not the bottle, so you can't refer to the bottle directly.
I did, but however, this time I bought more whiskey so that we can drink more of it.
Yeah,
Because I
you
fucked
definitely
up
did
that
that.
first round. It's been a comedy years, let's be honest.
Mate, it can only go up from here. That's how you got to look at it.
That's all right.
So, what would you give it for rating, Johnny?
Oh, I'll give that a 7.
Yep,
Definite 7.
you're picking up on most of the notes out of that.
Well, are there notes?
Well,
Yeah, we don't know. We can't
You can
can't
move.
verify.
It's a Hibiki Suntory whiskey,
so it's nothing the same as what you had, is
a
it?
meticulous blend of the finest selection of whiskies.
I see.
Show him the photo.
Sure you got that from me?
Yes, mate. This is the same drink, Johnny. I'm
Nope.
telling you.
Okay.
Is that the same drink you brought around?
I didn't think so, but if he says it is,
What did you bring around in the first pilot?
Nose.
Hibiki.
It was that one.
Rose, lychee, and a hint of rosemary with mature woodiness and sandalwood. Palate, honey-like sweetness, candied orange peel with a white chocolate finish.
All right. Yep.
And the finish was a subtle tenderloin finish with a hint of Muzinara, Japanese
Mozzarella.
oak.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Okay.
Yeah, that was the zone one.
Wow, I gave it a bigger rating than the first time we tried it.
That was an incredible drop, though, just for anyone listening now, when we first did that pilot episode, which we probably won't put to air for some time just yet. But that was an incredible drop. Johnny nailed it when he brought it in, and
Drink, no doubt.
ticked
But-
every box.
But it doesn't get the same rating tonight because I bought it in. All righto.
You also did it a very bad discredit in packing it in a fucking spice jar.
Pretty certain the whiskey's a whiskey, mate.
Oh, not if you're colouring it in with fucking bit of grey lead on the spice bottle and
Points of
writing
points.
number 1 on it.
Points a point. Hey, I gave you 1 or 2. You had your choice, and you chose 1.
Well-
I had something else in number 2 ready to go special, and it's just as good.
Is it?
But you did want to hear it.
Do you have notes on that one?
Yes, I do.
Just off the box?
No, I took yes, just off the box. I took photos on the back of the box. Yeah, well, fucking hell. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm busy all day, mate. I don't sit in front of a computer. I can't just go.
That's called delegate. You've got an apprentice.
Please,
Get him to
mate.
bloody do
Oh,
something.
what's
He's
he
got to
gonna
stop
do?
telling
How the
jokes.
fuck's he going to weld this steel to hold this fucking builder's house up?
Well,
Well, I can't get him to fucking research my whiskey for me, can I?
you'd probably do it quicker.
You know what? I should
Give him that job.
Yeah, he might do a better job, but
Yeah.
I should fire all my employees. You're right. Smooth, you're listening. You're fired. So good.
So you've given 7, John?
and now I'm feeling bad because I definitely gave it much more the last time we tried.
But it's not bad. You gave it an 8 last time, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I gave it an 8 or a 9 last time.
8 or a 9 last time. Yeah. So you've registered as a 7 this time, being the fact that Roscoe,
Mind
we
you,
thought, told us a different one.
last time we had it first as well.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I think I rated at least an 8 or a 9 as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a great drink with ice. Nice in the glass, but it has that linger. Has like a long linger on
Yeah.
it. Bit peppery, as you said, Johnny, with a Shiraz finish, perhaps.
Shiraz or sherry?
Oh yeah, interesting. Sherry, yeah, sherry, pepper, sherry, Shiraz, maybe Shiraz.
I don't think it'd be Shiraz.
Well, I'm not certain myself, but Johnny has the notes from week 1, so he can give us all the tips on his own. That's what happens when you ask me to do research, man.
It's all right. We'll clean this one up. Don't worry. He's got some absolute pearlers just lined up, waiting in the next
Yeah, we can.
the next part with hard truths and spicy truths, don't you worry?
Maybe we just pretend you didn't hit record on this.
Yeah.
No, we definitely recorded this. There's no fucking way we didn't record it. I've put 3 whiskeys up and none of them have been on. So if this one doesn't go to air, you fuckheads.
Nah, we'll get it in there. We'll just chop a large portion out.
Do ya? Is that what you're going to do? Make yourself sound good and make me sound bad? Yeah, no worries.
Well, the best part is the listeners will be absolutely thrilled the fact that they can actually hear Rosco today or tonight.
Special mention, Mike's online.
Mike's online.
Yeah, stand up tall.
MIKES?
No, MIC.
MIC.
Yeah, their slogan
1, 2, 3.
is stand up tall.
Stand up tall.
Yeah.
So you got a new little stand for the microphone to sit on. We didn't think it was going to work, but it has worked, and it's given him the flexibility to stroke his beard quite viciously whilst talking into the microphone.
Mike's online.
Startup business, is it?
Mike's online doesn't exist. I got these from Amazon.
Probably is a Mike's online somewhere.
Oh shit. Oh fuck.
You're right, Mac.
Yeah, all right. All right. All right. So we've got the ratings all down pat. So
It's a good whiskey. It is a great drink. It is a ripper. And you know what? It's interesting that it's a blended whiskey as well because it delivers on it. You cannot fault it. And we've done 2 blended drinks now tonight. Green, which surprised me. And this surprised me 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, whatever it was. Previously. This surprised me previously.
Well, this one I find you can drink straight or neat.
Don't you think it's got that linger? Like a slight linger, slight burn to it.
bit.
Not quite. It's smooth, yes, but yeah, it's not quite.
I think we did say that on the pilot that we did find it lingered, but it stayed around in a nice way. I think from memory as well, we did say it sort of hinted around that 30 second to a minute mark. It was still sitting there within your mouth.
Yeah, definitely.
Gathering flavours.
I love it with the ice. It is just like syrup. It is, and I get the white chocolate at the end.
Like Bundy syrup?
No, different. Bundy, no good. But the white chocolate on this drink in particular, and by all means, if you can spend $200 plus on a bottle, and you want to buy a bottle for someone, this is a great bottle to share with someone.
Hibiki.
Absolutely delivers. Like it's a first class drink.
Yeah.
Absolutely delivers.
No, it is good. And I've just been going back to your spice jar and topping up a few times actually, and
Yeah.
it does get better as you go.
For listeners that are looking to purchase this product again, it probably you might find it at the majors like your Dan's stores, maybe some independents as well, but it will be more rare as you get on. I'm guessing as well, Johnny, is it?
No, that particular Hibiki should be pretty right to find.
Should be right.
Because it's their sort of blended line, so that's probably the one that they pump out just for the masses.
Yeah. What we would suggest, though, again, don't necessarily buy that for someone that's just starting out at whiskey either. It's more so for a person that loves all their whiskies. That's where you would probably
Get a
recommend
delicate balance between their own drinks.
Yeah.
They might have a few from this region and a few from this region and start branching out.
Yeah. Not a region snob either. Not someone that's only just dedicated to Scottish single malt. Someone that dabbles in a bit.
Can appreciate a drink.
Correct.
Regardless of, where or how it's made or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a terrific drink.
And a special little shout out as well that we're just going to make mention here too. World Whiskey Day is coming up very, very soon on the 21st of May. So for anyone out there looking to get on board with the World Whiskey Day theme, there will be quite a fair few venues around town that will probably be celebrating this. Little bars around the CBD in Melbourne, I'm sure around other states as well. But by all means, just go out and just grab yourself a whiskey on World Whiskey Day and just get around it. Like, chuck on the pod, chuck on some music, chuck on the footy, sport, whatever you want to do. But it's on a Saturday, 21st of May, and kick back and enjoy a beautiful whiskey.
So 21st of May,
21st of
World
May.
Whiskey Day.
Yep.
And wouldn't it be a great opportunity to, get, if you're new to it, why not? Go out there on that specific day, on that Saturday. You might be thinking, I'm going to go down to the bottle shop, I'm going to get something, whatever, this, that, whatever. But just pick up a bottle of whiskey. Of course, it's the day to do it. So there's really nothing else. There's that many bottles that are on the shelf that are available for you to have a try, and there's somewhere to start. There's somewhere to start for everyone. So why would you want to have your first whiskey on World Whiskey Day if you've never had one before?
Exactly. And if you're still unsure, email us or contact us through Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and just ask us what sort of profile you want to sort of get around, and we'll try and direct you as best as possible to where we reckon you might fit in what category. Yeah.
Might be tricky to get hold of us because of the 30,000 followers on social media. However, we'll try and sort ourselves out.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
Money is not our worry here. Getting involved with distilleries and breweries, the local guys that want to get their name out there and about.
Spread the word.
That's the team we want to talk to.
Yep.
So, you know, the old podcast could go on tour.
That's the plan.
Yeah, could be plenty of beers to be drunk.
It will. Beers will be drunk.
Could be.
Well, for now, we've just enjoyed that beautiful whiskey, the Hibiki. It was scored a 7 from Jono originally, but I think he's going to refine that up to around about an 8, possibly.
I would put that up to an 8.
At least an 8, now that he's found out which one it was.
And I've been drinking some more of his.
Yeah, he's polished off the entire spice bottle there.
Certainly an 8 from me. It's a terrific whiskey. It is a really good drink.
Yeah.
And it surprises you as well because although the price is high, it actually delivers on what it says. It tells you this is what you're going to get out of this, and it does do it. But the interesting facts about this one, and Johnny probably knows more about it than me, that it threw me when it said this is no longer available as such because of the 3 distilleries that are no longer in existence, and they've made the blends of the drinks. Though.
Nah.
I think the single malt side, maybe that's where that's dissipated, hasn't it? It's more they're trying to force into blends.
They're being forced into blends because there's just such demand that they can't do the aged whiskies at the moment.
Yeah,
so explain that to me when you're saying forced into blends.
Well, just because there was just such an explosion in demand.
They do not have the actual barrels available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're talking the whole world now because Japanese whiskey, rewind 15, 20 years ago, it was barely on the map in other countries. It's only in the last couple of years, really.
10 years, yeah.
10 years.
It exploded.
Exploded.
Yeah, everyone wanted it. And then all of a sudden, bottle of Yamazaki to buy here, aged costs like $300-$400.
And couple that with COVID and all the nonsense that's going on as well. Like you can't keep up with demand of what the world wants. Like it'd be hard enough for them to keep up without COVID. And I think there was that issue even pre-COVID. They were having issues.
Oh yeah, they were just saying we're not exporting for now, and we're just going to sell it internally to Japan and to the locals here.
And that's where you get people that would end up importing that themselves through contacts in Japan into Australia, but then you end up paying a premium on it as well. So
that's where you get the big price tag. Yeah,
exactly. So I think we're pretty much wrapped up with this whiskey here, so we're going to take a quick little break.
Pretty much wrapped up with Macca. Give me the hard truths. He doesn't want me to do the old research. He's like, oh, yeah, g'day, show up tomorrow. And, bring your whiskey along. And I'm like, no, Macca, fuck you. I want to drink your whiskeys off the top shelf.
Look, put it this way. He's talked up so much about these hard truths and spicy truths. He reckons he's racked up about 100 different ones. So if he doesn't nail a good one on the first go, other than his violins were sexy from last week, I swear to God, he's going straight in the bin.
There'll be more to come.
He'll be gone, like yesterday's newspaper. So, this is a little end of the segment here, but we'll be back very shortly.
Oh, here's a fun fact. You made out with your sister, man!
Shut up! Stick to the creator, the best thing in nature for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. But there's nothing like whiskey to make maidens frisky. It soon separates all the men from the boys.
Another fun fact. Some 42 bottles of whiskey are exported from Scotland every second. Welcome back. A little bit of turning Japaneser because it's about that time right now where we are going to give the floor to Johnny to bring us home with the final whiskey of the evening. Japanese one that we drew out of the hat during the week. You would have seen on social media. All yours, Johnny. Go ahead, mate.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so you drew out an aged Japanese whiskey, which, as we were saying before, it gets a bit harder because, they're doing a lot more blends and whatnot because they just can't meet the demand at the moment. And, we might get another 5-10 years away from now and all of a sudden we'll have a glut of age-stated whiskies. But, in the meantime, it's pretty bloody hard.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to pay $400 a bottle or whatever.
Well, on that note, I was hoping to fucking God that I did not pull out the 12 to 15 little tab because if I did, we'd be fucking broke. So.
But anyway, so you pulled out, the 7 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually have any 7 to 10s on me, so I had to actually go find one. So I went down to one of your mates' celebrations in Lilydale and picked up the Kurayoshi 8-year-old.
Bloody hell.
So this whiskey is a single malt,
Pure malt, they say.
and it is aged between 8 years old.
8 years old. But this particular whiskey distiller has a bit of controversy around them. So don't know if what they're actually advertising is exactly what we're getting. So
Is that uncertainty, or is it like history, or what's the situation?
bit of history there. So I was doing some research into them during the week, actually looking up the whiskey and whatnot, Ross. Anyway, so apparently in the past what they've done is they've imported Scotch whiskey in barrels and then mixed it with a bit of, Japanese whiskey and then sold it on as Japanese whiskey.
Sneaky bastards.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this distillery in particular, I've done that before prior.
I can't find any verification as to whether this bottle has or not. That was a few years ago when that was found out, so maybe they've cleaned their act up and turned around and, not doing that anymore.
Regardless of that
Good stat.
specific incident, it is still going to be an 8-year-old whiskey if it has a little bit of a Scottish influence or not. But
Yep.
still, so keen to definitely give it a try.
I think that was one thing that looking up on this whiskey beforehand as well, that there's absolutely no way that they can claim an age on a bottle unless it 100% is as well. So
In Japan, it was a bit looser on that, actually. So you could kind of claim that without necessarily being completely...
wow.
Certified.
Yeah.
In Japan though, that's
in
not
Japan,
not in other countries.
But, we've it's imported here, so maybe it is, definitely an 8-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
We'll trust them. I'll trust them. But this one in particular, so they've won a few awards with it, World Whiskey 19 award.
Is that a made-up award?
It could be a made-up award. But was it International Spirits Challenge 2020? Got a gold. San Francisco World Spirits Competition 2020.
That's a real competition. Yep.
Double gold.
So if they got double gold at San Francisco, that is phenomenal.
Yep.
That's a really, really good achievement.
The World Whiskies Awards 2019, which is the one I absolutely messed up saying before. Category winner.
Okay.
Ultimate Spirits Challenge 2019, Japanese whiskey. It was a finalist. San Francisco World Spirits Competition 2021. It was a gold winner. International Spirits Challenge 2021, silver. World Whiskey Award 2021 as well, silver.
Quite a few achievements.
Yeah, so it's got a few others there, but I really can't be bothered reading the rest. But so they have taken this out. They've competed with it. So, I will probably trust them when they say it's 8-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be taking it to all these competitions and,
Yeah.
You can't bullshit that.
That's right. You're not delivering it up and putting it in front of judges and saying this is what we're making, and you're not correctly putting out your product. You are confident in your product. You're delivering it there, and you're gonna get the accolades if it's as good as it is. So there's no doubt about it. It's gonna be a good drink.
Yep. Definitely. So anyway, so I said earlier, but it's the Kurayoshi Japanese pure malt whiskey 8-year-old we're trying today. Do you guys want to give it a whiff? And
Happy to do so. Roscoe will be the one sharing the notes because
straight away in the nose, I think it's like a honey and even like a biscuit, like a malt. Like they're the first two that are coming straight to me.
mm-hmm.
I have no idea
Pretty
if they're
crisp.
anywhere near right or wrong. However, they're the two sort of flavours that come.
The liquid itself, I'd say a shade lighter than golden.
Yeah, it's such a light colour.
Very
light.
light.
It is a very light colour in the bottle.
Yeah, especially for an aged whiskey too, in 8 years. So that may play
Will
into it.
enhance the darkness generally in the barrel.
Yeah, but they may be using a different type of wood, which may affect the colour. I don't know. Like
Even a virgin barrel.
correct.
Everyone loves a virgin barrel.
Yep. Do you?
Of course, no, it's the best flavour, mate.
Is it?
Yes.
well, you don't like picking up other flavors from whatever had in previous?
No, that was a joke. I'm happy with every flavour of whiskey. Sorry about that. Just wanted to throw out the virgin barrel.
Oh,
But
shit.
it potentially could be.
Yeah.
I think
lighter with a lighter colour in it, maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely, probably not the charred stuff or anything like that along those lines.
No,
No,
no.
darkness doing it to it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon we're on the money for that one there because Roscoe and I still don't know anything about this whiskey. Jono knows all the ins and outs from what he's done the research, so we're still flying a little bit blind on this. But hit us with the next bit, mate.
Well,
do you give maybe a bit more on the nosing?
yeah, I looked up the notes from Master of Malt on this one just to see what they had to say.
Good guys, Master of Malt.
So what they're saying is toffee, red berry, and a hint of violet.
Violet.
Got them all.
Didn't get any of that.
Honey, biscuit, and malt.
What was it? Violet.
Toffee, red berry, and a hint of violet.
Okay, so you got look, toffee, honey. That's the closest thing you're probably picking up on there.
Oh, that's a fucking long stretch, isn't it?
No, it's not far off. Remember we spoke about this last week. Werther's Original. They're pretty long, aren't they?
I remember your Werther's Original. I remember no one likes Werther's Original.
Mate, they're great. Shout out to Werther's Original.
I
Yep.
still just feel like there's a bit of a maltiness on the nose. Like it's a bit of a, I don't know, feels like it's such a light colour too. So it's an influence straight away from visually looking at it. I feel that even I pick that up on the nose.
Isn't that funny though? They're both this is the second Japanese whiskey we've had tonight. They've both gone for a floral nature, which is pretty a large standout flavour. You got rose on the other one. Now we got violet. Violet's a very very random smell that you're going to get from a whiskey in particular
Oh, yeah,
too.
very specific.
Yeah.
But this comes back to the palate of the Japanese people, I guess. Originally, back in the early 90s, when whiskey was first sort of trying to take off in Japan, they were trying to imitate the Scotch whiskies a bit, but a lot of people really kind of didn't like it. So that's why, they reinvented and kind of went towards this sort of lighter tastes and smells.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so this whiskey made in the Kurayoshi city, which is in the central part of Tottori Prefecture.
Mm.
So that's kind of along the north western side of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
It shares its border with the Shimane Prefecture, Shimane.
We won't hold you to these pronunciations.
I
mate,
really
it's all
should be better at this. I'm pretty bad at English, and I'm even worse at Japanese.
right. Hey,
Prefecture,
doing well, mate.
which is to the east of it, which is famous for love shrines, if you're into that sort of thing.
Love shrines.
So if you're ever in Japan with your partner and they want to do a bit of a tour, you can go up to the Shimane Prefecture, go check out the love shrine, and then it's like, well, while we're up here, we'll just kick over to the Tottori region and go check out the whiskey.
You got down in one knee one time on a love shrine, didn't you, Roscoe?
I wasn't in Japan. That happened in Baronia.
Were you eating a bowl of yum cha?
No, I was at Crave. Having a nice seafood dinner with your mother.
What, the old luffers? The old luffer counter?
Seafood dinner. Take her out for a nice seafood dinner. She's an angel.
Yeah, she's a good egg. She loves Bundy.
Bundy.
Continue on, Johnny.
Anyways. So, this region is at the foothills of Mount Dyson. So, you got that sort of fresh water supply coming through, which will be what they're using in the creation of their whiskey, making that bit, sort of lighter, I guess. And interesting facts about this town. It's got one of Japan's oldest circular schools, which has been repurposed to a figurine museum.
Wow.
So, if you're into...
Action figurines, you mean?
Oh, action figurines or,
All
anime
sorts.
figurines, any of the sort of Japanese figurines you see online or around. I don't know where you get out to.
Anime?
Anime, yeah.
yeah.
Lots of anime figurines.
Hentai?
Oh, probably a bit of that. Bit of video games.
Nice.
And this town in particular has a man that loves to dress in a realistic catsuit, and
Shit.
was a fully working mouth and eyes, and he dresses in that suit just to sell baked sweet potatoes.
Dresses in a cat suit to sell baked potatoes. What the fuck's he on? Jesus.
Your baked potato, bit of cheese, bit of ham,
Yeah?
salt, pepper, coleslaw. Can't go wrong.
Where do you get
Don't know if they're doing it that way, but
bit of seaweed on the potato?
Hey, seaweed's the fastest growing plant.
Is
We
it?
talk about gardening. Yeah,
how much seaweed are you growing in your garden?
I'm not. However, if we could all
It's
live
been
on
growing in
seaweed,
your pool, I think.
hey, we would change the world if everybody lived on seaweed
Why?
because it'd be beneficial for the world.
Would it? Tastes like
You eat-
shit.
Mate, you eat some seaweed.
I
see
have.
What happens.
It's fucking gross.
Yeah, but there's many kinds of seaweed, so
Well, I'm not eating kelp.
Hey,
That's
hey.
like rubber.
Whoa.
That's boot leather, that.
Take it easy. There's fucking seaweed for everyone, Macca, and we'll find one for you.
yeah, I'll bring in some seaweed next week, and we'll
No
get you to
spice.
try.
No
Yeah,
spice.
no, it's not spicy, but I'll bring in some seaweed. You can try it out.
Oh, that'll be a hard pass on that one.
You know, if we could farm seaweed in the ocean, and everyone could live on seaweed, like everybody became fucking herbivores, the world would be a better place.
So you've brought your Monday vegan fucking-ism to fucking all weekendism, have you?
Are you prepared to give up your tomahawk steak?
So I am not going to do this. However, I'm just pointing out, if others can change, we'll change the world.
But not you.
Can you just email me the rest of this story?
Yeah, I don't need to change. I got a farm.
Anyway, have you guys given that a taste?
Yes.
All right, so what are you picking up on the palate?
Tough one.
It's
It
powerful. I'll say that. It is very powerful in terms
You know,
of
even after you drink it and you just take it down, you can just get a little bit on the sides here still. Like it has a mouthfeel that just sits on the tongue, covers the tongue, and goes beside your tongue too, in a sense. Like it almost touches the cheeks. So it's just
so
different.
full mouthfeel.
But just different because not many whiskies do that. So that one's one that I picked up like different. It just, you drink it a different way. It hits your tongue and it goes sideways as opposed to just sort of going backwards, if that makes sense.
That's got power all the way through it. Again, I'm not tasting flavour as such, but in terms of warmth, I've had mine in ice right now because I already skipped the other part without ice. So I had a little sip of it, but that's got some mighty warmth all the way through.
I'll say a bit like the Hibiki, you could drink that neat very easily.
Yeah.
It is a good drink neat.
Yep.
But anyways, you want to try and pick out some of those flavors or?
Tough one. I'm going to go with...
People are waiting.
Where's me fucking... Here we go.
It's definitely a pepper.
Yeah?
Is that pepper a mild pepper or is it a hot
here we
pepper?
go.
Could be a light pepper.
Do you want to know?
Hang on, wait.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a hard one to decipher, this one. Really hard to put your finger on it.
All right, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah,
So
give
it
to
is
us.
a pink peppercorn.
Ooh, Himalayan?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Where do you get pink peppercorn from?
Well, Himalayan
Yeah.
is pink.
Oh, hang on.
That's salt,
That's
isn't it?
salt,
Salt,
mate.
yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
salt and pepper go.
Himalayas
You know.
is
that's a
pink.
good point. Well, there could be Himalayan peppers. You never know.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to look it up now, but
I'll look it up.
and then it's got orange peel and a lingering toasted oak warmth.
Toasted oak.
I wonder if the oak is
That was your biscuity thing that
or
you
the
picked up.
malt that I thought in the nose. But look, I didn't taste it, so I didn't know. But
Yeah.
it's interesting. The hibiki that we had was an orange peel as well.
Yep.
I don't get that. I don't get it. Even if you scroll back to podcast 1, in the early stages of this fucking setup, that was not so good back then.
Well, the pilot.
Far better now. Yeah, pilot episode.
Yeah, we can't scroll back to that.
We had a terrific whiskey there that Johnny brought in, and I didn't get the orange peel that was on that as well. And I don't reckon. Oh, I don't know if I get it. I really don't know if I get it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hard one to pick out, orange peel.
Oh,
Then it has a finish of macadamia nuts and strawberry jam.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
well, I reckon you could give the macadamia there because it has that macadamia sort of the feel that you get on your tongue from eating a macadamia. But the strawberry for me, I'm not sure about a strawberry finish.
Strawberry jam's pretty precise with what they're linking in there.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be able to pick it up unless I read it. And now that I read it, maybe I
search
can,
for it.
Like a berry, maybe not strawberry, or what do you reckon?
Yeah, maybe some kind of berry jams.
It'd be
Just any
faint.
kind of jam. But it is very faint, and unless you are told it's there, you're not going to pick it up.
No. I think your other flavour notes that you've described there, they're going to be more of an overpowering, more of a full-on taste and flavour that you're going to get through ahead of the strawberry jam.
Yeah, and pretty much whenever you throw any sort of peppercorn or spice in there, that's going to overpower anything else. So
Indeed.
you're not really going to pick up those lighter tastes and
Fruity,
scents.
yeah, fruity tangs. I want a fruity tang.
Anyways, so a bit more about the distillery. It was established in 1910, so over 100 years old now. Like I said, it's near the base of Mount Dyson, so that they got access to a freshwater supply there. The region varies greatly in temperature, anywhere from, on average, 7 degrees Celsius to 31 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, wow.
So kind of similar to around here.
Yeah.
So unlike Scotland, which is a pretty consistent colder temperature, you got that variation, which actually speeds up the aging process of whiskies, which is
the heat that'll
yeah,
like amplify.
and the expands
the cask.
Yeah, the expanding and shrinking of the casks
Yeah.
helps the aging
aging
process.
Obviously, you get so much more flavour, so many more characteristics happening in a younger barrel when you have that introduction of heat and cooling sort of periods, as opposed to the consistency Scotland will have.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So as the Bakery Hill guys were telling us, an 8-year-old over in Scotland you could probably get in 4 years or thereabouts here, which kind of makes the whole age statement on whiskies a bit sort of redundant. in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I see
Well,
what
then
you're
you
saying.
just have to take into account the location of where it is. So there becomes a formula.
Well, it's like rums. Rums in South America, if they're at a higher altitude at that temperature, the speed of the process of the aging is huge. It launches straight away. Yeah. So
Yeah, fair enough.
But as I said, such a formula. Whereas if you had a location and barrels were aging at this speed, and you had another location where barrels are aging at a certain other speed, well, you can do the maths, Macca, and then you can just pretty much
hit us with your maths for the week, mate.
Well, you can pretty much say that this is doing an 8-year-old and it's aging at twice the speed of a Scottish whiskey. So you're comparing something like this to a 15, 16-year-old.
So would you say that would be traditionally then not an 8-year-old, it'd be a 4-year-old, or 4 years to age it, then to make it 8? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's saying it does twice the development in an 8-year-old.
Well, I was guessing when I said twice. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean,
it could be
we're saying-
an 8-year-old here could be closer to a 10 in Scotland or something like that.
So there should be a worldwide formula.
You could make it.
Yeah.
Rosco's
official
worldwide formula.
ISO standard.
You could. Imagine that.
Might win a Nobel Prize one day. Who knows?
Is it Nobel? You sure it's called Nobel?
Fuck if I know.
Mark Noble?
Like Gary Noble.
Who's he?
Fuck if I know.
Anyway, so this mob also, diversifies into making sake, gin, meshu, which is plum wine, shochu, which is distilled, rice, barley, sweet potato, what have you. So they got a bit of range as well.
For some of the listeners out there as well, mate, just fill them in on sake and soju. I know you sort of just gave a rough sort of background on what some of the ingredients are, but in your sort of knowledge as well, would you say that's a very large portion of the Japanese liquor market, what they drink over there, as opposed to the whiskies as well?
Yeah, they're pretty good at drinking a bit of everything, to be honest. They love their whiskey, their sake, beers, the plum wine, like I said, and soju. So sake, for anyone that doesn't know, is rice wine.
Mm-hmm.
So they mill the rice down, so they take the outer coat off, and then they just process it similar to how you would kind of wine, run a bit of water through it, and crack that open a year or two later, and Bob's your uncle, you got more alcohol.
Yeah, good. Have to give some of that a go, I reckon, at one point.
Oh, I can bring in some sake for you. Yeah, suck it to you. Anyway, we can go through.
Of course we can.
Pairing notes or something.
Yep, go for it, mate.
So I was, once talking to someone, and they were saying, you really should try and pair what you're drinking with food from that region, because the people that develop the drink, they've got the palate from that region, and they kind of build the drink to match. So based on that, if you were to be drinking one of these kuroyoshis or any other Japanese sort of drink, I'd probably recommend just having some Japanese tapas, in a sense.
Tapas, nice. What would that be, some teriyaki chicken or?
Yeah, teriyaki chicken. So,
yep.
They're big on going to, the name's escaping me right now, sorry.
That's all right.
An izakaya bar. So izakaya bar, very similar to a tapas bar or a sort of small pub or bar in England or whatever. That's generally where people gather after work and unwind.
Yep.
You got in Tokyo, you got your celery men, which go to the bar with all their mates, and might be a Wednesday, and then wake up early and go to work the next day and do the same thing again.
How good's that? That's good.
Oh well, I don't know if it's good or not, but
get to enjoy it each time.
Yeah,
that's all right.
But typical food that you might have at an izakaya bar includes edamame, which is boiled soybean pods.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. So
never tried it.
You boil the soybean pods, cut it with a bit of salt, and then you kind of just put them in your mouth and squeeze out the soybeans, and the salt on over the pod. You kind of pick up in your mouth as you're doing that.
So from what you've just said there, in terms of food pairing, which was something that we probably are going to get onto a bit more, I reckon, with some of our whiskies as well, just to give listeners a bit of a chance to enjoy something each time they're hearing one of the whiskies we're doing, with what sort of foods they might pair well with, whether it's a recommendation.
Did you say research?
Welcome back, Ross.
Welcome back. Did you do some research in the toilet?
No.
Didn't take your phone with you?
No. So getting back to food pairings as well. So if you're stuck without being able to sort of produce your own Japanese food at home, or style of food at home, or you're not really into Japanese food, no stress. I'm sure if you are able to come up with your own little pairing, just do little small amounts each time when you're having, say, a nice bit of steak and that sort of thing. See if it pairs, see if it blends. Again, these are suggestions that the distillery would put across to recommend that it works best with. But again, in all countries, it's going to work with different foods too.
Yeah, just try whatever you feel like and give it a go. And if you don't like it, well, don't do it again.
Exactly.
It's easy to get edamame here. Go down to your Coles or Woolies, and it's in your frozen food area. Just go pick up a bag.
Yep.
It's pretty easy. Just chuck it in a pot of boiling water, and 5 minutes later, easy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah. But there are other foods you can try with it, chicken skewers, like you said, which which they call yakitori over there, and then you got yakitori. You got karage, which is just fried chicken, kind of like your
That's my jam.
kind of like your popcorn chicken here.
Oh, yep. Sign me up.
Yes, sashimi, which is raw fish.
Yep.
Force Macca,
Not my jam.
Yep.
Not your jam. You don't want,
Macca as well. Sign him up.
No.
you want me to bring in some sashimi next time, and you can give that a go.
I smelt raw fish once and it wasn't for me.
Nah,
Good, here we go.
weren't willing to give it a go.
Not a fan of fish smell, but flake. Yeah, no worries.
While we're on this conversation, Macca,
You're not going to take it in a different direction, eh?
plenty of different things you don't like to eat.
Mm.
Anything you want to mention there that's the no-go?
I don't know what you're getting at, but you can go for it if you want.
Give us a no-go food that you don't eat.
No go.
Yeah.
I don't eat red meat.
Oh, and red meat. Well, this would be a perfect drink to pair with some red meat, wouldn't it, Johnny?
So the listeners will think it. Yeah, go for it.
Macca says no.
Mate, teriyaki chicken. John, I just mentioned it before.
Hey, I tell you what, this would go with is a lemon chicken. Chicken, this would go perfect.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Probably.
Honestly, this would go so good with
It's
lemon
light.
chicken.
It's light, I reckon. It might
Yeah.
blend. Yeah. But lemon chicken's not traditionally Japanese
Well, as
either.
you said, did you call they, on like a skewer, like a chicken skewer?
Yep.
Is a
Yakitori.
yakitori. If it was like a lemon yakitori, winner.
Yeah, well, I don't think they do that part. You can make your own at home. Give that a go.
Send it in. Send us some photos in for the pod.
Yeah, your lemon yakitori. Oh,
Hashtag
they
yakitori.
might squeeze a bit of lemon juice over the top of, just grilled chicken on a skewer.
I just think that's a good pairing. If you talk about pairings,
It's a decent drop. It is a decent drop.
Yeah, and much like I said before, much like the hibiki, you can just kind of drink it neat and, it goes down pretty well.
It's very smooth. Every
yeah,
drink's been smooth tonight.
It is a good drink. This is a good drink.
Yep. Any other little notes you got there for us, Jon Boy?
Nothing of much interest, to be honest.
Nothing?
No, the region, apart from those few things I brought up before, the region is a bit of a, quiet town area, sort of further away from a lot of the major cities. So, yeah, just got that country vibe.
Yep.
A lot of old school Edo style houses, wood with red tiled roofs, and I think I was reading that they used to do a lot of storage there.
Yep.
So, back before you had your big super warehouses, which were massive, it was just little sort of, thick walled, almost house sized warehouses.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned before about the distillery being at the foothills of that mountain as well. So they're receiving that fresh water straight off the mountain coming through. I think you'll find there's a lot of distilleries, even in Australia as well, that do sit below the mountains in that sense too, that if you are wanting to get the best water coming through, I think you do a lot of research through a lot of distilleries, the best ones that produce some exceptionally good whiskies, or spirits for that matter as well. The water that they're getting straight off the mountain always tends to be quite a clean, crisp drink as well.
You get it through the drink without any doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. Even breweries for that matter too. There's a lot of breweries that are based at the sort of bottom. I think Bright has a brewery up that way, I think, as well.
Well, if you're going to brew something, you want to have clean water. You don't want to be putting whatever crap is in the water into the drink.
Mm.
Obviously, yeah.
Your garden receives mountain water, doesn't it?
Couple of water tanks, try and do what you can. The most important thing about the water, it lands on the ground. Where does it go? Goes fucking nowhere.
Goes down drains.
Yeah, well, that's what you think. But it goes zero. It goes nowhere. You should capture the water and utilize it in your garden.
Should you?
Yes, of course you should. Why not use it twice? Why not save it and use it instead of letting it go down the drain?
It's true.
Yeah, that's right. Why not? Why not put up a pergola behind your house, capture the water, and then store it in a water tank and use it in your garden?
Isn't that what the reservoirs do for us anyway?
Well, not if it goes to storm water. It just goes straight down the river.
But the water I pour out of my tap goes into a reservoir. It's from a reservoir. Goes into...
It doesn't go into one.
No, it doesn't go into one. It goes in the stormwater.
It goes into
and the
sewer.
fishes. Yeah,
It goes
and the
into
fishes.
sewer.
Fishes get it. They can get some.
No, well, mate, I'm just
They
saying.
got plenty. They'll come back.
Plenty of good things to try and do around this world. Try and change the world, mate.
So I reckon it's time to give us a bit of a rating for you two boys. I'm going to follow your leads on this one as well. So Flavour notes, firstly, for both of you. Do you reckon it hit the notes that it spelled out?
Oh, I mean, I definitely picked up the pink peppercorn, and that one jumps out straight at you. Orange peel, not so much. Lingering toast of warmth, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna give it a 7. It's a pretty good drink. It's, like I said, I haven't even put this on ice yet, so I've been drinking it neat the whole time.
Rosco?
Definitely says what it should do, without a doubt. It delivers. I guess we can't confidently keep saying that they do what they do, so there's probably not too much of that. When I'm drinking now, I feel like I get a bit of a sort of a dryness at the end of it. I don't know if that's part of their tasting notes or whatnot, but it's almost like a popcorn. Like you eat popcorn and you like not a buttered popcorn, but like a regular popcorn. Yeah, I feel like it's got a bit of a sort of almost popcorny to it. Look, with ice, but it's still a good drink, and it does everything that it says. So, yeah, look, 7's a good number.
Yep.
We'll share it around.
We haven't really rated anything below a 6, I think, from the
No,
couple of...
I mean, we've got to get some absolutely shit whiskies in so we can give them a 3 or something.
Maybe an old number 15 or a, what is it? A Tennessee Jack.
Tennessee Jack. All the old Whiskey Brothers 101. Moonshine.
Couple of home brands.
Not sure who's bringing that in, but I won't be drinking it.
If they do, you can get the fuck off the pod. So, but no, that's good, mate. So that's pretty much wraps up most of the history of this whiskey. So we've got 2 7s rated for the how do you say it again, John?
Kurayoshi.
Roscoe, can you say that?
Kurayoshi.
You've split it into 2 words there. Say it again.
Kurayoshi.
No, you done well.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I got that.
You fucking what?
Yeah, I can't say it, but that's all right. Kurayoshi. There we go.
It's a screw cap bottle too.
Yeah, I found that interesting because, a lot of the other whiskies we've brought in, all corked or at least rubber, stopper.
Yep.
But this one, completely screw top. Which could be all right in the long run if you're not going to drink it constantly. You just screw the top back on, leave it in the cupboard for however long you want to leave it. And
Yep.
Whereas, what were you saying? If you got a cork top and you crack it open, it slowly evaporates?
Well, there's that, and just for the listeners of the pod from last week, we had a slight little mishap from the Talisker 25 last week.
Oh, shit. When did that happen?
Don't know, but it was sitting out overnight after the pod, and the missus came in and went to start helping us clean up some stuff, and I'm not blaming her, but the whole cap just fucking disconnected from the cork. So in terms of corked whiskies, they're a bit shit. And this is a 25-year-old, so I'm kind of screwed, and there's half a bottle left here in this one here. So I might have to be very careful how I take this out.
You know what you might as well do is just leave it open on the bar.
I have to take that out without it landing in the fucking whiskey.
That's easy. I can sort that out.
Oh, can you?
However, leave it open on the bar and all the guests get to have a 25-year-old.
Well, it's going to get drunk anyway, otherwise it evaporates, so I'm stuffed either way. But anyway, in terms of whiskies having a better cap, I think definitely the screw top's the way to go.
Yeah, but you don't get that nice feeling of
Correct.
just pulling it out.
That's the one thing that's down with that. Is
Less
just,
rubber.
Yeah.
Do the rubber. You always use
Just
rubber.
Pop, bang, pull the whiskey out, say hello, boys. Let's have a go.
Yeah, that little bit of vapor sort of escaping into the air, and you can visibly see it. And
A bit like this, is it? There we go.
yeah,
That's
like
sound.
that.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's good sound along with this. Oh, yeah.
Throw the ice in. No, I'm not sure what that is.
That's a cheers.
Oh, righto.
That was a bit loud.
So
Get back to me, Maker.
we found out before as well, Johnny. So what price was this one sitting at too?
I think I picked this one up for $145.
Mm-hmm.
A few dollars.
A few
Good
shekels.
drink, but it is not quite under 100. I reckon it's a go-to. You'd be happily drink this for under $100.
But
120, 130, for the Japanese whiskey
gotta think
and all
that.
that.
You got to
I
factor
guess,
that in.
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess Japanese whiskey is
It's the J tax. Yeah.
yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for that sort of price, yeah, you can go find like a Scotch whiskey or something that, yeah, you will say that is a fucking good whiskey. So
Yeah.
This is a good whiskey.
yeah,
Without a doubt, it's a good whiskey.
But you can pick up a Scottish whiskey single malt for a 15-year-old for around that price as well. It just depends on what you're after, really.
Well,
But
that's right. It's the flavour profile that really comes into to accord here, because if this is the type of drink you would like, you would pay $150. If this was your favourite drink, you wouldn't even think twice about buying this bottle for $150, and it deserves a $150 price tag.
yeah.
But for others who may not be there, flavour profile might find it to be a bit high at that price tag.
Oh,
So
I guess this goes back to that question earlier on when you're saying someone just getting into whiskey, what would you recommend? And I would, if it wasn't for the price tag, I would say Japanese whiskey, because it is that much lighter sort of whiskey. You know, it's lighter on the palate. It's much easier to get down. You can drink it neat without any drama.
less peat.
Less peat. You know, you can also throw it on ice if neat is still too rough for you.
You could probably go, if you are doing entry level as well, John, will know this one too, the Suntory Toki.
Toki, yeah.
That's a really good entry level. I think it's around about between $65, $75 or so.
Be around 75. And Cheetah?
Yeah.
Cheetah is also good. I think that's more around the 80 to 90.
Both blends as well, but a very, very easy to drink Japanese whiskey.
But they also make very good whiskies for making highballs. But I don't know if you'd be prepared to pay that much for a whiskey.
mix in a highball.
Yeah, if you're going to mix it in a highball. But they are fucking amazing in a highball.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to give that a bell one time, I reckon, just do a couple of highball sessions.
yeah, well, find ourselves a little bar to head out to in the city, and I'll be able to do a little podcast live for an hour and check out a couple of highballs.
It's not a bad idea.
Well, the reason why a lot of the Japanese whiskies are great for highballs is just because they have such a culture for drinking highballs over there. They love them.
They certainly do, mate. They certainly do. So,
A general highball is just a topped up glass with ice with a whiskey, and you'd chuck in some
mixer.
flavour enhancers like a mixing.
Yeah,
Is there a standard highball, or where do we go from here? Like as in,
like your starter would just be
things?
like what you put soda water and a splash of lemon juice, mix it around,
lemon.
Correct.
Yep.
good to go.
You can advance on that a little bit more. And I know these days, back in the day, there was barely anything mixer-wise that you could just sort of choose. But if you're looking at sort of spicing up a highball, if you look to Fever Tree have got that many different flavours in their range as well. And mixer-wise, just go nuts with it. Just give it a go. Like, there's no rules or right and wrong with making your own highball. You taste whatever you want to taste and give certain things a go. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Who gives a shit?
I was just reflecting on the traditional sort of, style with a highball from Japan. What is it? It's just pretty much with the lemon. So
Yeah,
lemon
lemon
is
soda.
the go. Yeah. Okay.
Lemon soda.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So that's pretty much all wrapped up now for all the whiskey tastings for this evening. But we are going to come back very, very shortly in the next segment with some hard truths and some spicy truths, and also a couple little zingers along the way. But thank you very much for joining us on this episode, and we will see you very, very soon.